The twist with Faith isn't just a last-minute gimmick. It's something that cracks open a wound Claire thought had long healed and forces her to confront the unthinkable. Back in Season 2, we saw Claire go through the trauma of losing her, a baby alone in Paris, and we all mourned with her. It was one of the most painful and defining moments of her entire life. But now, in the final episodes of Outlander, there's a whisper, a clue, a possibility that Faith might have been taken, hidden, not lost. And suddenly, everything changes. If this is true, then Claire's entire journey, her choices, her guilt, her grief, all of it takes on a new shape. You can feel the ground shifting beneath the characters, and it's terrifying. This isn't something the books ever prepared us for. Diana Gabaldon never wrote this. The show is in completely new and territory, and that makes it even more unpredictable. Caitriona Balfe called this twist a portal to everything unknown, and she's absolutely right. If Faith is alive, where has she been? Why now? And most importantly, what will this do to Claire and Jamie? Because here's the truth, Outlander has always been about love that defies time. But it's also about the cost of that love. And in Season 8, the cost is rising fast. Jamie is heading straight into the heart of the Revolutionary War, and history is not on his side. In Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, Jamie is seriously wounded, so badly that he's believed to be dead. And even though Claire finds him, her medical knowledge alone isn't enough this time. That's when the show hints at something deeper. Something supernatural, a power Claire has always had, but never fully understood. Some fans think this power might be what connects her to Faith, that maybe Faith didn't just survive, but was pulled into another time because of Claire's gift. And if that's true, then this whole story has been building toward a reunion that defies all logic. But what if using that power comes at a cost? What if saving Jamie means losing Faith all over again? This is what makes Season 8 so terrifying and beautiful at the same time. It's not just about how the story ends, it's about the impossible choices Claire will have to make. And that brings us to Jenny. For fans who've been with the show since the beginning, Jenny Fraser Murray has always been the soul of the Fraser family. Her fierce loyalty, her stubborn love for Jamie, her quiet strength, she's part of what made Lallybroch feel like home. So when the show confirmed that Jenny won't be returning for the final season, it hit hard. Co-showrunner Matthew B. Roberts said there just wasn't enough time to include her arc, that with only 10 episodes, they had to focus everything on Jamie and Claire's core journey. And while that may be true from a production standpoint, emotionally, it feels like a betrayal. Jenny was there through everything, through wars, losses, separations, and now she'll be missing from the end. It's a choice that's left a lot of fans angry and heartbroken, because for Jamie, saying goodbye to Jenny, whether it happens off-screen or not, is a goodbye to his roots. And for the audience, it's a reminder that no matter how much we want closure, we might not get it. That's the real genius and cruelty of this season. Nothing is safe. Not our expectations, not our favorite characters, not even our trust in time itself. The Revolutionary War looms large over everything. Jamie and Claire are no longer just lovers or time travelers, they're targets. And this war isn't just historical, it's personal. Their family is fractured. Ian is out in the wilderness of war. William is torn between his loyalty to the British Army and the truth about who he really is. There's even a terrifying possibility that he could be forced to fight against his own father on the battlefield, and not even know it. Can you imagine what that would do to Jamie, to Claire? And what about the prophecy that's been quietly hanging over their heads since Season 4? The ghost of Jamie, seen by Frank in the very first episode. What if that wasn't a vision from the past, but a glimpse of this final season? The emotional weight of what's coming is almost unbearable, and yet Outlander keeps pushing. Because just when we think we've cried our last tear, the show throws something else at us, like Brianna and Roger's ongoing battle for peace, which never seems to come. They've traveled through time, lost children, survived kidnappings, and still can't seem to rest. Now Jemmy and Mandy are beginning to show signs of inheriting Claire's power. And while that sounds exciting, it's also terrifying. Because what if this isn't a gift, but a curse? What if Claire's connection to time is something that traps her family instead of saving it? Fans have long wondered if the series would end with Claire returning to her own time, or being lost in time forever. But now, with the faith twist in play, even that question feels too small. We're not just wondering how it ends, we're wondering what's real anymore. If you thought Faith's return was the emotional peak, brace yourself, because what happens next will leave you shattered. The final moments of Outlander Season 8 are being whispered about in hushed tones behind the scenes. Cast members have said they couldn't stop crying after reading the final script. What could possibly be so devastating? It's not just the idea that Jamie might die. It's not even just the idea that Claire might be forced to live without him again. It's the haunting realization that this story, this epic, impossible, beautiful love story, was never meant to have a fairy tale ending. And that's what makes it so real. The ending we're heading toward is something that's been foreshadowed. Since Season 1, hidden in dreams, visions, and quiet warnings, and now it's here. Time has run out. The ghost from the very first episode, the one Frank saw watching Claire through the window in 1946, was always Jamie, but not a young Jamie. An older, broken Jamie, one who somehow exists in a time where he never belonged. For years, fans speculated this meant Jamie was a ghost after death. But what if that's not true? What if Jamie somehow slips through time in a final desperate act of love and loses himself along the way? What if his last journey isn't about war or honor, but about finding Claire one last time in a time not his own? That moment, that image, was never just a mystery. It was a warning that no matter how far Jamie and Claire run time, will always take something from them, and now it's taking everything. The Faith twist might offer hope, but it's a cruel kind of hope, because if Faith is alive, then someone made that happen, and that someone might not be a friend. Rumors are swirling that Season 8 introduces a new time traveler, one with knowledge of both the past and future, and a reason to manipulate Claire's story. Fans are speculating this might be connected to Galis Duncan's bloodline, or, worse, to Stephen Bonnet's. There's even a terrifying theory that Faith was hidden in another time to control Claire, like a weapon disguised as a miracle. If that's true, then bringing Faith back could be the thing that breaks Claire, not heals her. And then there's the Mackenzies. Brianna and Roger are in survival mode, trying to protect their children while navigating the collapse of everything they once believed was true. Jemmy's strange visions, Mandy's intuition, signs that the stones are calling again. But this time, there may be no safe destination. The past is crumbling. The future is uncertain, and the present is soaked in blood. War has changed everything. Fergus and Marsali are still out there, their fates unknown. Ian is on the edge of madness after everything he's seen. William is heading toward a moment that could destroy him. And Murta, even in death, his shadow still hangs over the Frasers. It's almost as if every sacrifice made in the past is building toward a final devastating decision. One that will either unite this family or scatter them forever. And Jenny, oh Jenny, her absence is felt in every frame. It's not just that she's gone, it's that Jamie has no one left from his old life. No sister, no Lallybroch, just memories. The final season doesn't offer him peace. It strips everything away until all that's left is his love for Claire. That's the core of it, that's the heartbeat. And even that love is under threat. Because the writers aren't pulling punches this time. There's no promise that Jamie and Claire will survive, only that their love will. But what does that mean? That Claire will live without him? That Jamie will walk the world as a ghost? That their story will become legend, something half remembered in time, and the